We had a bit of a morning, went for a blood test, sat in a waiting room for at least half an hour. And for most of that time, there was a woman in there in the queue coughing and coughing, really coughing and coughing and coughing. Hardly stopped. We both got masks on because we started wearing masks again because of leftover stuff for us with COVID, and me thinking, well, my immune system's had a bit of a bashing over the last few months. I don't really want to risk it. They were only the ordinary masks, so they probably were pretty ineffectual. But I was really pleased to have a mask on because I was sitting there cringing, and the woman next to me had no mask on. I don't, honestly, it's horrifying. And of course, I know, so the mask sort of is here, so that protects that bit. I've got glasses on, but that doesn't really protect your eyes. All the stuff up there in the atmosphere, all the microbes and whatever are just coming down and down and down and settling on you. Um, it was horrible. It was really horrible. Went in, had our blood done, and I came out and we got back to the car. And I said, before we get into the car, I'll get some hand spray. We used an alcohol's hand spray. I'll get the hand spray out and we'll have a good clean. We had quite a clean. Then we came home, burnt all the masks, and I know they're a bit plasticky, but I just burnt. We sort of had a few masks laying on the floor in the car that we'd used, and I said, okay, we need to burn these. So burnt the masks before we carried on with the rest of our day. It was horrific. It was like awful. So fingers crossed, touch wood, whatever, that we don't pick up anything from that experience. So we toddled off down to town and we bought chicken food. Then we went to Leclerc where we had our lunch. Um, and then we did a little bit of shopping, and we were absolutely shattered by the time and it wasn't a lot of shopping, and we've hardly done anything really today to speak of, but we were absolutely shattered. Got to the till, got through the till, got to the car, loaded the car, got back here, unloaded the car, put the shopping away, had a coffee, and then we both collapsed for about an hour on the sofa. I feel much better now, but oh God, it was just coming down. You go down, they're not escalators. What is it? The moving travelator, I think it's called. And coming down there, I didn't think my legs were going to hold me up. Felt really, really difficult to stand. I didn't know which leg to limp on. Just a bloody mess I was today. So that was good. So we had a sleep, and I think we're both back, feeling better. He's doing some painting in there on his tank that he's building. If the cat gets any nearer, she's on his table with him. If she gets any nearer, she's going to get painted. And I've been looking at YouTube and the internet, trying to work out what I can do with the black radish I bought that is so fucking hot. We won't be eating it. Not in its present form, anyway. I sliced a bit the other day so we could taste it, and it actually practically blew the tops of our heads off. So hot. It's a bit like horseradish, I think. I wonder whether it is horseradish. It might be horseradish. I'll need to look it up. I don't know what horseradish looks like in its original form. So I've been watching Tim Spector, been thinking about the things that we do that are healthy, that we add to our diet. And one of the things I struggle with is fermented food, which is important. And I know that we have yogurt now and again. I don't have it. I'm not a dairy. I don't eat cheese, and I don't drink milk. If I make a cup of tea, which I normally do about this time of day, I'll have milk. But otherwise, that's the only dairy I have each day. But Mark eats cheese and he'll eat yogurt. And the sourdough is also fermented. Coffee is fermented. Chocolate's fermented. We need to be adding in more fermented food. And I thought, I'll see if I can ferment the black radish. I've tried fermenting before and it's failed. I tried making sauerkraut before and it failed. So I thought I'm going to give it another go. So I've made and not a very large amount actually. By the time you push it down in the jar, because what you do is you weigh it and then add 2%, 2.5% salt to it, mix it all up, and it gradually draws the liquid out, and so you push it down in the jar. So I've pushed it down in the jar, and it's only actually filling half the jar now. I added in some red radishes I'd got just to make it look pretty, and now I'm waiting to join a group on Facebook so I can ask, what do I do next? What do I do next? That's where I get stuck when I try to make fermented food. But I'm determined to improve what we're already doing. But I'm also aware that I'm not paying attention to what I'm already doing. Very easy to look at what I'm not doing or where I'm failing. And I was watching, this isn't about food, this is about exercise. I was watching Mark last week in Kine, and he was using one of the machines that you'll find at a gym to work his leg and to work his quads. And I sort of keep thinking, I'm meant to be really careful about weight training, because your muscles, steroids can atrophy your muscles, and then your muscles become weak, and then you can overwork them if you're not careful. You need to have much more rest in between working. But I got to the point of thinking, I really need to do some exercise, because I'm not able to walk at the moment very far. But I really want to do some exercise and feel that I'm doing something. So I asked on the health forum that I used, can I, and how much can I? Started to talk about it and suddenly realised, so somebody was talking about using 100 ml water, bottle of 100 mils of water in each arm, and working with that. And I know that there's another one that I want to do, which is down the back, which works on, is this triceps? No, it's not. Yeah, biceps, triceps, works on your triceps. That's the difficult one. But I suddenly realised, hold on a minute, at least once a day, I'm picking up 3 kilo logs and putting them on the fire. And back a few weeks ago, I was picking up a lot of 3 kilo logs because Mark wasn't, and pulling 12 or more of them in on the trolley. So I am actually doing quite a bit of weight bearing exercise. So I'm letting myself off the hook there. And I think I need to write a list of the good stuff I am doing rather than focusing on what I'm not doing. I think that's really important. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to focus on the good stuff that I'm doing food-wise, and focus on the good stuff I'm doing exercise-wise. And hopefully when I've been back next week to pick up my new Sommels, I might be able to walk with Mark. And I've said to him, I'll walk with you, and then you need to carry on walking if you can, and I'll turn around and come home. I'm hoping the Sommels will sort my posture out. I'm thinking probably some of the problem for me is that because of how I'm walking, my posture's bad, and that's why other bits of me hurt. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to focus on what I'm doing well. Hard to do that, isn't it? We're good at focusing on what we're not doing. I'm going to focus on what I am doing. Okay, it's just coming up to 5 o'clock. You're just about to get a short vlog about me letting the chickens out this morning. Very dull vlog. It was early because we were going out for blood tests, and it's winter and it's dark and it's cold, and there's not a chicken in sight. You don't see the chickens, but it is about the chickens. You'll know that now. Anyway, have a good day, have a good night. Hope you're warmer than we are here, and see you soon.